Yo, what is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 83 of our Tracksuit to the Top series here with Lewis FC in the Premier League. Hopefully you guys are good. Today I'm going to be picking up with a huge game in the league as we are going to be taking on Manchester United, but first we have to review what happened over kind of the last few weeks and about a month really since the previous episode. And of course, if you missed the previous episode, it was our first ever Champions League group stage game, so you should definitely go check it out. So anyway, let's have a look at these results. And to be honest, we've not actually played that many games since the Inter game a little under a month ago. We've actually played 4 games, 4 big wins. We won 4-0 against Leicester, a great result this one. Matthew Lewis grabbing another hat-trick. His goal scoring record this year is ludicrous. More on that in a second. We then won 2-1 in the Capital One Cup against Derby. A little bit disappointing this one, Derby in the Championship. We played still a fairly strong team and barely won. However, we did bounce back a fantastic 3-2 win against Hull. Matthew Lewis grabbing 2 goals, one of which was in the 15th second of the game. Kelechi Iheanacho on off the bench to grab a last minute winner too. And we came back from 2-1 down in the 59th minute to win 3-2 at home. So a great result, that one. And the last result in this run of fixtures, a 5-0 win in the Champions League. Matthew Lewis grabbing 2, Alexander Haas grabbing 2 as well, the German. Really pleased to see this guy doing well because he was a player who was certainly a gamble coming into the side, but so far this year 4 goals in 7 games, 3 have come in the European kind of games that we've been involved in, so that's really pleasing. Another German who's been doing really well is Reitmeier, the German centre-back who of course joined us a few years ago now. He's developing really well, the youngster. My assistant keeps slowly moving up what he thinks his potential ability is. I don't really know what his potential ability is, it's all part of the mystery. Apparently he's close to playing at his full potential, but then according to my assistant he doesn't know what his potential is, so he could still improve a lot. But a good centre-back, and he's a very good player at this level for us, and he's doing a very good job for us, the under-20s German international. I really hope he starts getting some first-team caps because he certainly deserves them. So anyway, that's what's happened, and I guess the main thing of note really is Matthew Lewis's goal-scoring form. It's been absolutely redonkulous for us this year. If we have a look at it, he scored 20 goals in 10 games, one of which was on off the bench, and we're in October. Like, who does that? I've never seen a goal scoring record like this. I don't remember having a goal scoring record like this in any of my YouTube saves. I'd be going back to probably the Champ Manager days to have a player who's had this good of a start to the season. 12 league goals in 5 games. Mad. Mad is just the only way I can really kind of refer to that. He's on course to potentially get about 50 goals for the season, which I don't think he can do. If he did that, amazing, but I can't see it happening personally. But you can see here, looking at his actual record for the season, he's got 20 goals in 10 games, and a majority of his career goals, is 210, have come for us, so that's pretty pleasing. Elsewhere, big performers really. Pedreira's continued doing really well in the left midfielder position, a player who was already doing well. But all in all, it's just been a really good kind of set of performances by the team. Pedreira now with 8 assists already. Sonogo with 6 assists, he's added onto his tally from previously. And all in all, things are just going really well. We've only lost 1 game this season, and it was a pre-season friendly against Manchester United, who of course we have today. So more on this game now. Looking at the league table, we take on Manchester United, who finished 2nd in the league last year. Right now we're top of the league. We've played 5 games, we've won all 5. We've scored 22 goals for, that's more than 4 goals a game, and we've conceded 7 in those 5 games. Defensively not the best, but we're just scoring goals for fun at this point. A plus 15 goal difference is really pleasing, and you can see we have a 5-point kind of deficit between ourselves and Manchester United in 4th today. So Manchester United are our first real challenge this year. I don't mean that in kind of a detrimental and kind of, I guess, slanderous way to the likes of Nottingham Forest, QPR, Bournemouth, Leicester and Hull, but really Manchester United here are going to be our first major challenge. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on here against them. Looking at our team's looking fairly good. There's only really one injury to tell you guys about, and it's Seaman, who we have on loan from Shakhtar, and unfortunately for us, he strained his knee ligaments. He's actually going to be fit fairly soon. This guy came in as a backup centre-back. We've not missed him too much yet, but we needed a little bit of strength in depth, particularly playing free at the back, and so he kind of plays a role, I guess, in just making up the numbers. If we do need a player to play centre-back, you know, he's capable of playing that role for us. So anyway, let's have a look at our match preview for today's game. Lee Probert going to be refereeing this one. This is just is this a standard? No, in fact it's the early kickoff on the Saturday, so a bit of BT Sport action, Lewis v Manchester United. Hopefully we can get a good result here. Manchester United not doing amazingly. They've only won 3 of their first 5, so they are beatable. And we have a very strong team at our disposal as well, which is very pleasing. No major changes really to tell you guys about in this side. Pretty much the standard kind of team that I'd pick and consider to be my strongest 11. Mitchell at centre mid defend, perhaps the kind of surprise package this year, the young German. I've only played him once in the league and he got an 8.2 rating, but he's done well in other competitions, and I'm certainly going to be looking to play him at this centre mid defend role, I guess, a little bit more often. I do think, however, for today's game, we're going to play a slightly not quite 100% fit Batagelli and hope that he, I guess, copes with his kind of current fitness situation okay. We'll drop Craig Mullen and just drop Batagelli into the centre mid defend role. Obviously Mitchell's still a young player, this guy, but I think he's got a very bright kind of spot and spark about him, and he's certainly going to be a player for our first team for years to come. You can see high potential. Apparently he's playing close to his full potential. I'm not really sure what's about that, because I don't think he's that good yet, but I think he's got the potential to become class for us in the centre mid position. But anyway, let's get into today's game. We're playing the 3 at the back. This is going to be a bit of a test of how we can utilise the 3 at the back formation that, of course, we've been rocking. It's been tested a little bit in Europe, but Manchester United, by far and away, the strongest team that this system's going to come up against. So I'm hoping it's going to work well in our favour. Of course, defensively, it's not been the best. 7 goals conceded in our first 5 league games is a little bit kind of, I don't want to say concerning, but certainly underwhelming. But I'm hoping that our sheer goal-scoring pedigree and with Matthew Lewis up front, we can basically outscore Manchester United in this game. Of course, Matthew Lewis, I can't explain his goal-scoring record this year. I said at the end, or rather the start of this year, that I didn't really think he'd be able to get another 38 goals in a league season. I didn't think it'd be possible. I thought other players would step up around him. But so far this year, he has kind of been I don't want to say the difference maker, but certainly the player who's seen so much of the ball and been so clinical in front of goal. He's kind of single-handedly got us points at times, and there's been other times where we've won by quite heavy deficits and we wouldn't necessarily need him, but these are the games where we are going to need him. These big games where we go 1-0 down like this, Sergio Roberto, and we look towards Matthew Lewis to kind of make a difference. Looking at the stats, that is Manchester United's first shot of the game. Prior to that, we've had 57% of possession. We've had far more shots. We have been the dominant team here. It's worth noting, if you can't tell in the 3D, that our pitch isn't in the best state right now. And that is kind of impacting our passing game. I guess it goes 2 ways, but I'm hoping to get the pitch relayed, maybe. Although it did get relayed in the summer, it's kind of degraded really, really quick, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, looking at the stats, we're still dominating this game, but Manchester United hitting us on the counter for that 1 goal. And they've got a chance here, although Reitmeier with a really nice header. But Daley Blind, Robertson out wide, needs to defend that. And, well, Valadez gets a goal. Is it offside? It is offside. Panic over, it's still 1-0. But the wingers for Manchester United finding a little bit of space out wide. You know, we look at our wide defenders to kind of drop back and solve that issue for us. But right there, they were caught high up. But at half time, it's going to be 1-0 to United. I'm going to tell the players they've not been good enough, and they're going to be motivated by that. We're top of the league. We really, after these first 5 games and the kind of goal scoring form we're in, I know we've not really been truly tested yet, but we look like a team who could, you know, really challenge for the title this year. The board expectation for the year is top 4. From what I've seen, I'm very confident of us achieving that, but it's these kind of games that you're going to kind of make or break a title challenge. And right now, well, we're letting them into it. Kouakou, though, with a fantastic save there in goal, keeping us right in this game. But we need to apply some pressure. We need to, you know, scare United a little bit more, I guess. Looking at the overall performances, it's been pretty poor by everyone. No one really stepping out. Matthew Lewis looking particularly underwhelming. I'm going to make one change, I think. I'm going to move Haas to right midfield and play him as a right winger, and then I'm going to bring on Iheanacho to play up front alongside Matthew Lewis. And I think that's the only change I'm going to do for now. Might make a few more with a little bit left, but I kind of feel like our strongest team is on the pitch, and so I feel like any changes I make, whilst I can probably get on fresh legs, even though we haven't got that many super tired players, it's my best chance of getting back into this game is with the players we've got. We'll go a little bit more direct here, and I want the players to close down more. And we'll see how we get on. 15 minutes of really trying to, I guess, be a bit more forceful in our play and kind of be more direct and just go for it. Looking at the stats, I'm going to feel really hard done by if we lose this 1-0, if I'm honest. We've been very good this game. We've outperformed Manchester United with this system, but they've caught us once on the break. They almost caught us a second time. And I know someone in the comments is going to be Captain Hindsight and say, well, why didn't you play more attacking? The reason I didn't play more attacking is because we were largely in control of this game and we just didn't create enough, which is a real shame. You know, quiet games for a few of our big players like Juan Carlos Leon, Sonogo, just not quite stepping up and having those standout games. Matthew Lewis didn't have that many highlight chances of note that were shown in game, but that doesn't mean that he didn't have opportunities to potentially grab goals. And yeah, a little bit disappointing, I guess, to have our winning run come to an end there. A bit of a short game, really. Not too much happened, and just a little underwhelming, I guess. I guess one pleasing thing is the fact we did completely outplay Manchester United. It's just we didn't do enough whilst outplaying them. We still are top of the league. Manchester City, the only club with a chance of leapfrogging us during the kind of games during the day on this match day. But yeah, not great, not great. So when I'm going to be back for the next episode is the question, I guess, on everyone's lips. I think the next game I might do might be the Twente and Man City games. I might do that as a double live com. We'll see. Depending on where we are in the Champions League group, I might do one of the earlier games. The only real tough game of note really here is the Liverpool game. With the exception of that, we have a few trickier games like later in the year, but there's not loads of really tough games that we have in succession. Arsenal, of course, finished mid-table last year. Liverpool finished 5th. Really, our main rivals are Manchester City and Chelsea, so I guess they'll be our next 2 live comps. I might do one of the other Champions League games in between. Hopefully you guys will be looking forward to that. If you've enjoyed this video, please do smash the like button. I do greatly appreciate it. If you've got any comments with regards to this series, leave them down below. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.